Cut it out. Stop it. Stop. Stop. Friday Night with Uncle Henry. Thank you for watching. Please share this as quickly as possible on social media. This is going to be an incredible program tonight. We're going to learn about JEF FUnk. Yes, local musician and former radio star JEF FUnk is our guest tonight. Some of the best hair and facial hair you're going to see on the program. Also, yeah, and they call him Thunderlips because of his harmonica playing. Yeah. There will be harmonica discussions and playing on the program. A lot of blowing on tonight's show. Also, the musical guest accompanying JEF FUnk, Andy MacDonald.
Yeah.
Woo, returning to the show. Now, the musical guest, Andy MacDonald and JEF FUnk, presented by Callahan's, Cold Beer, Hot Meat, Tasty Tunes,
yes.
Cinnamon Oakley. The Royal Horses performing tomorrow night, the Royal Horses, and then Sunday, Andrew Duhon, Grammy nominated.
Yes.
That's Sunday. How about that? Scotty White approves.
Oh, darn it. I didn't get our
Also, the musical guest brought to you by Pickers Paradise in Stapleton, Alabama. Now, before we move forward on anything else with the program and bring out JEF FUnk, we want to thank the people that donate to the show. If you don't donate to the show, we will stop doing the show and feel shamed, and we'll go back to our ordinary lives. Thank you to those that have already donated, the executive producers of the show, Becky Lockwood and Jerome Lockwood, Uncle Doug Faust, Ben Shorty G. Griffin, Rick Henry, Mr. and Mrs. Pickles, Ron Reams, Jeffrey Wimmer, Bama Big Man, Mrs. Bama Big Man, Wendy Lynn Norris, Reagan Girl, Snake Trapper, Wendy Jen, Dan Thompson, Bridget Jerkins of Royal Barber, 3 North Royal Street, John Aiken, Dorothy Doc Clayton, Richard Harvey, Cheryl Gwynn, Felix Lixart, Alan Cario, Carmen Brown, Matt Bighead Green, Hank Eubanks of Hank's Fireworks, Aunt Karen Simmons. Thank you, Aunt Karen. Tracy Moscalo, thank you, thank you, thank you. You can donate by going to PayPal or Venmo. Go to PayPal or Venmo, look for Deep Fried Live on PayPal or Venmo, and you'll be able to donate to the show. We need your donations to continue doing the show beyond the next few shows. Now, our crypto update. Johnny Gwynn of JohnnyGwynn2024.com has been taking a small amount of the donations and investing them in crypto. Johnny, what's our crypto update?
Nuclear explosion, head. So...
Is that good?
No, it's bad. All of it has been liquidated. I took everything out, and we were going to wait to re-enter after losing...
What do you mean? We're out of... We've already dropped out?
I took things out, probably not smartly. I fell into FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And I pulled the money out that we had to remake it at some other point. We bought in at smaller levels where things were on sale. So...
All right, I don't understand FUD. All right, look.
FUD.
When
fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
I get that, but in a real market, the stock market, you're told to stay in it for the long haul because there'll be ups and downs. Why didn't you just stay in it?
Because I acted irrationally and emotionally, which you're not supposed to do. So I learned from it, and we won't do that again.
All right, so Johnny Gwynn admitting. See, people appreciate the authenticity of you admitting your mistakes.
Yes, I made not awful things, but enough to where I won't do that again. So yes, moving forward.
All right, so you see us losing in crypto. You can too.
That's right.
All right, now also on tonight's Friday Night with Uncle Henry, the mystery box. Now last season on the show, we had the mystery box that was the Lanyap mystery box. Now, and Johnny is gesturing wildly.
There we go! Yes!
What is the status of the mystery box?
I don't know. I don't know if we can get actually pull the mystery box down here. As we remember last season, the mystery box revealed things. And it's in poor condition. It doesn't have a name on it anymore. It doesn't have anything. It's ripped. I had to put a Post-it note to make the question mark. We are going to vote on the comment section or email, do we bring back the mystery box? Email or direct message me on Facebook, Johnny Gwynn, johnny@johnnygwynn.com. And also, if you'd like to sponsor this, then we have some rules. Go ahead and go to the next screen. Your name will be said in your name will be said in conjunction with every mention of the mystery box. So it'd be like so-and-so's name sponsors the mystery box. But we reserve the right to change the name, i.e. mystery bag, mystery trunk, mystery tote, or mystery portmanteau.
Okay.
Which, is, by the way, is a suitcase. Sponsorship is show to show, and mystery whatever will be used at least 4 times a show. And then we're starting at $100 to begin sponsorship. All right, we have to raise money.
I've got another rule to throw in.
Yes.
And the rule would be we will not accept any political sponsors.
As people, I want fans to do this, not
we
companies.
don't want. It can't be the. Can't be the such and such campaign.
Right. What about Johnny Gwynn 2024 campaign?
We can't do that.
Oh, right, because we get in trouble with Facebook.
Right, with Facebook. So it can't be political in order for Facebook to allow us to do it.
What about certain adult type businesses? Remember we.
What do you mean?
G-Spot.
No.
Diamonds Men's Club.
No.
Gentlemen's Club. Okay.
Get the camera off me. No.
Royal Barbers.
I'll do it.
That's not an adult business.
But it is an adult business, but not an adult business.
All right, well, look, the way, again, email or direct message Johnny Gwynn, johnny@johnnygwynn.com if you'd like to sponsor the mystery box.
Yes. Thank you. And you get a good shot of my best side.
All right, moving forward on Friday night with Uncle Henry, we have our pothole of the week.
Yes. Woo!
Now, this is a pothole that many Mobilians encounter on a daily basis. It's one of the most traveled streets in the city of Mobile because it's near the Beltline Walmart. I'm not going to call the Beltline Walmart what other people call it. I'm going to call it the Beltline Walmart. The pothole of the week, there it is, the gorgeous pothole.
Yes.
Woo! On Imogene Street.
Beautiful.
Isn't that, and Johnny keeps looking at potholes now like they're clouds, where you imagine shapes in the pothole.
See it? It's roadkill for a snake trapper to have for dinner. That's a possum.
Oh, that's a possum.
See the tail and the head? Tail and the head, see?
Okay.
See?
Possum tails are skinny.
Well,
all right,
look,
there you go.
I'm doing my best.
All right, so there it is, the pothole of the week. And also, this is from Mike Bailey on Facebook. I saw this a lot on Facebook this week. Every time someone pronounces mobile, God gives us another pothole.
That finally explains why we have so many damn potholes. Fantastic, right. Mike Bailey.
Yes, indeed. So thank you for that. Please send your pothole pictures to me, unclehenry@gmail.com, and we'll feature them on Pothole of the Week.
Woo, yeah!
Now, one of the big topics in Mobile and in the country this week was crime prevention. We've seen a big uptick in violent gun crime all over the country, especially in the major cities. And this has been talked about. The Biden administration had suggestions on how to deal with violent crime. Mayor Standy Simpson is coming out with proposals on how to deal with violent crime. And we wanted to compare and contrast how different communities locally might deal with crime prevention, because communities can be different with cultural differences. Like things are different in Spring Hill versus like in Crichton, for example. Yep. And we've got a tale of 2 different ways of dealing with crime prevention in Montrose on the Eastern Shore, Montrose close to Fairhope, versus Mount Vernon, Alabama. Mount Vernon, a wonderful community. The way they deal with crime prevention is different in Montrose versus Mount Vernon. For example, in Montrose, they have house-wide, state-of-the-art integrated CCTV surveillance cameras. In Mount Vernon, Danny has a shotgun. In Montrose, they have digital automated locks and front door Ring smart cameras. In Mount Vernon, Mommy has a shotgun. In Montrose, they have thick and thorny shrubbery landscaping that acts as a natural barrier. In Mount Vernon, Granny has a shotgun. In Montrose, they have an electric fence with intrusion detection. In Mount Vernon, Lil Johnny has a shotgun. In Montrose, they have a guard dog certified. It's a trained Rottweiler. In Mount Vernon, the twins have shotguns. In Montrose, they have perimeter security autonomous aerial drone robots. In Mount Vernon, Uncle Skeeter has a shotgun. In Montrose, they have a private security neighborhood patrol. In Mount Vernon, the neighbors have shotguns too. In Montrose, they have a fortified, blast-resistant, and EMP-proof panic room. And in Mount Vernon, the back bedroom has more shotguns under the mattress.
Yes! Fantastic.
It's just a tale of two towns, Montrose versus Mount Vernon. Now, we're about to bring out our wonderful guest, JEF FUnk. And JEF is spelled J-E-F. J-E-F. And Johnny Gwynn found it confusing.
Very confusing.
He kept spelling him J-E-F-F.
Autocorrect was horrible all day today.
J-E-O-F-F. And we found out there are many other confusing ways to spell Jeff. For example, Jeff.
Why not? One F, why not three?
Jeff. Jeff.
It all works.
Jeff. 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 Jeff.
That works too. That works.
And Jeff.
That's real modern. That's really modern. Hot
It is.
And trendy right now.
Please welcome to Friday Night with Uncle Henry, JEF FUnk.
Yeah!
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Good to see you.
JEF FUnk, thank you so much for agreeing to be on Friday Night with Uncle Henry.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for asking me, man.
Well, so many Mobilians now know you as a master harmonica player. I know you as JJ.
Amen. Yeah.
From this era of your life.
Oh, look at that.
What was your first radio job, and was JJ your first radio name?
No, my first radio job was KVOB in Bastrop, Louisiana.
Okay, so a Louisiana job.
Yeah. And then when I moved to Mobile, finally, I was at ABB. I was at LIQ, which is the AM station. And then I moved over to ABB in '78, I think it was.
Wow.
And then after 3 years with Bernie Dittman and that crew, which was fantastic, and I hardly remember any of it, because I was 22 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, anyway, I went to work at KSJ. And how JJ came about was interesting. I was on the air for about 2 days, and the general manager called me in his office, and he said, "Hey, you got to change your name."
Now, what name were you using? JEF FUnk?
JEF FUnk.
Can't have that
And I
reputation.
said, "Why?" He goes, I got a stack of people saying you're cussing on the air. And I said, "Dude, I can't help it if they're hard of hearing, right?"
Yeah.
So we hashed it out and everything. We came down and we just narrowed it down. I said, "How about JJ?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, really, when I was walking out of his office, I said, "This is kind of crazy. Why didn't you change your name, Dick Yankus?" That was the guy's real.
That was his real name.
Dick
Wow.
Yankus.
Now, see, I would have called him out that.
Yeah, there you go.
Was he on the air as Dick Yankees?
No, he was the general manager.
Hey, can you imagine how many times that guy got called for, this is Dick Yankees on the phone?
Hey,
and they probably said, don't call back here.
That's
Frank.
right.
This is terrible.
Well, he was a professional football player. He ended up being a general manager of KSJ back in when I went there, the first year I was there.
So he named you JJ.
Well, we talked about it, yeah, and then said, hey, let's just do that.
All right.
JJ the DJ?
No, I don't think it was that. He just wanted to get funk off the air.
All right,
Yes.
so
Wow.
this is you as a PM Drive Top 25 dominator in the ratings. Now, I talked to Bill Black of 95 KSJ,
Right.
and I asked Bill Black about you. He said that you were absolutely one of the best DJs that he'd ever had work for him.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's very kind of Bill.
He also told
Checks
me.
in the mail, Bill.
Well, he also told me that one of the reasons you were great on the air is that you knew and loved the music, that you loved the music.
I did. And that's a really old picture. That picture that was in Radio and Records. Remember that magazine?
Yes.
And they honored me because I'm blowing my horn a little bit here, but for about 15 years straight, I was one of the top DJs in the whole country in country music.
Good Lord.
So they got my picture up there, and they sent me a little plaque, but that was about it. You know who this guy is?
Tell me.
This guy is the CEO of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
Oh, that's coming
in
later.
Cleveland. And
What's
his
that name?
name is Terry C. Stewart, and he is a native of Daphne, Alabama.
What?
A Daphne native is responsible for the horrible
I agree.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Well, he wasn't responsible for what happened
But he
now.
runs it.
But I was up there doing my show, and Terry was fantastic. We went up there for an Aerosmith show. We took some listeners and stuff, but Terry's cool.
I'm sorry to interrupt the interview, but Johnny's had his hand up for like 5
What does
minutes.
that mean? He wants to talk?
Yes.
I don't want to talk over you. I'm off camera.
Okay.
So, what years were you doing country, and what artist did you love? Because I would say modern country is unlovable now. When were you doing it?
All right, come on with
That's
the
a good-
commentary.
Man, that's a good question. I was at KSJ from 1981 to
Well, I'll tell you.
Alabama,
You were there for
19
Alabama,
Yes.
the Judge.
Yes.
George Jones.
Garth Brooks.
Travis
of course,
Tritt.
Travis Tritt. Come on, sit down here, Johnny.
I'm sorry. I'm very excited about that time in country
No,
music.
listen, I knew all those people. The Judds, K.D. Lang, Alabama. Of course, I always thought that Alabama was like the Rolling Stones of country
Oh my
music.
God, amazing.
I mean, they had so many hits. Who else? I mean, Patty Loveless,
Yep.
Reba McEntire, Leroy Parnell. I knew Leroy back in the 70s, and I played music with him. So
The Highwaymen.
All right, so
Yeah.
you brought up Garth Brooks quickly. When Garth Brooks hit the scene, country music blew up even bigger than it was before.
Right.
I was working at WABB. You were at KSJ at the
That's-
height of Garth Brooks mania.
Right.
And I was working at WABB. Our ratings were down while country was up, and Bernie Dittman walked in and said, "The guy at Griffith Shell says we need to play Garth Brooks."
Preston?
And we did.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
I wasn't aware.
Yes. Bernie Dittman demanded that we play Friends in Low Places because
Wow.
the guy
ABB?
because the guy at the Shell station told
Preston
him
or
we had
probably
to.
Preston.
Well, Preston's got a handle on things.
That's Preston. That's Preston.
All right,
dude.
So, I want to
Pulse
tell you
of
this.
America.
I mean, so you were at ABB when that was going on?
Yes.
We're doing mornings?
Yes.
See, I slept in. I didn't. I
Right.
Never hear. I
Well, I was not listening to you on KSJ
Well,
either.
There you go. Well, we miss each other. We miss. Who were you partnered up with on? Because you didn't do it by
I
yourself.
was
did
there
you?
with Trey Matthews.
Okay.
But Kat, who's been on the show,
Right.
He and I don't think we've ever heard each other.
Really?
Because we're on opposite each other. But
That's
real
right.
quick, this is you, right?
That's me. This is Wayne Gardner.
Yes.
A longtime
Scott
friend.
O'Brien.
Scott O'Brien.
Bill Dodson.
Bill Dodson. Scott Johnson. The Hound Dog. And I had a brain fart because I couldn't remember this gentleman's name. He was a fantastic guy. He worked overnights with us. He was great. He was great.
Now, tell us about, there's Chip Nelson on the left.
That's right. And this lady is the director at this is Pensacola Spring Fest. That's a long time ago.
Who is the guy in the middle?
That is the legendary Dr. John.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Dr.
Woo!
John was so cool, man. He told us so many stories, some which I can tell, some which I can't. But he was cool. He was way cool. And Chip and I introduced him at the Pensacola Festival. There's Dennis Stacy again on the far left.
Is that Charlie Daniels?
Charlie Daniels.
Wow.
And that's me. That's at the Mobile Civic Center.
Oh, there he is.
Me and Garth at the Biloxi Coast
Does
Coliseum.
Garth Brooks have hair?
He does. He does. Yeah. That's when I had hair. Let me tell you something. People don't know that, a lot of people don't know that Garth played Mobile. Garth Brooks played Mobile a week before he won the CMA Entertainer of the Year.
Goodness gracious.
He played with, it was the Grand Ole Opry show. And anyway, it was Garth, McBride and the Ride, and let's see, the Riders of the Purple Sage. And Minnie Pearl was supposed to be the MC, but she got sick.
Wow.
It was cool. Cool. Did Minnie Pearl ever make it to your show?
Of course not.
Who was the most famous person that you ever interviewed, sports-wise?
Sports-wise?
Yeah.
I don't have a good answer for that.
Really?
I can't remember. I mean, I've interviewed so many Alabama players that have rolled through.
Like worldwide. As far as sports-wise, who would stick out?
Johnny Gwynn, do you know my career?
Well, Christopher, you interviewed Christopher Plummer.
Christopher Plummer, who played.
Oh, that's cool.
Who is not a sports figure.
But,
Right.
but I'm talking about big,
Yes.
big celebrity.
Stabler. Yeah, you knew Stabler.
Yeah.
I was in Birmingham. You know, Bobby Jackson worked at KSJ. You know who Bobby Jackson was?
Bobby Jackson. All right, let me bring this up before you tell your story.
Okay.
Bobby Jackson.
Your show.
Bobby Jackson is. He was Bear Bryant's first quarterback at the University of Alabama. He worked at 95 KSJ. I got to know Bobby Jackson, and I asked him on one show if he had ever felt uncomfortable or afraid going to a football game at an opposing college's stadium. And he said that he felt fearful going to a game with you. Do you remember?
Well, there was two games we went to. Yes, Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge.
That was it. He said that the fans that scared him the most were LSU fans.
Yeah.
Night game. He
Yep.
said that he was with you,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
he was worried that you and I were not going. That you and he weren't going to make it out of the stadium safely.
Yes, and you know, it was kind of one of those crazy deals that, you know, have you ever been to Tiger Stadium in
No.
Baton Rouge? It's the greatest place in the world. I mean, you know, it's fantastic. It's electric. I went with Bobby, and everywhere you go with Bobby Jackson, people knew him because he used to wear this big ring on his hand. But the ring was not from Alabama. It was from the Philadelphia
Eagles.
Yeah, when a couple of years before they had the Super Bowl, right?
He won the NFC championship.
Yeah, Norm Van Brocklin was the quarterback, and Bobby had that ring. So, you know, we'd be sitting in the stands or whatever, having a hot toddy or whatever, and somebody would say, they'd look at his ring and they go like, and then the questions started. But that particular time in Baton Rouge, the band Alabama sent us some sweatshirts, hoodies, and it has Alabama on it. They were gray and blue.
But it was their logo.
It's their logo.
Yeah.
So next thing I know, we're in a world of mess. You know, so whatever. We got through it, but Bobby didn't tell you about the trip to Gainesville, did he? He probably don't remember a minute of it.
Okay. Is there a story behind that? Or do we
Oh
need
my
to move on?
God. We had the best time. We just had the best time. We went down on a road trip, and that's the game that Alabama was playing in Gainesville, and we got beat really bad. I think we only scored 2 field goals that time. But anyway, same deal. We're sitting in the stands, And we're in the end zone. And next thing I know, they're giving us hell because we're Alabama fans, right? And next thing I know, some older guy looks down there and sees Bobby's ring, and here we go. And next thing you know, it's like, hey, are you Bobby Jackson?
Wow.
They've been giving us hell all during the game. And Bobby goes, yeah. And the guy goes, oh, cool. And then the crowd comes around us, and just like whiskey came out of nowhere. And it was just like, woo, it's free pour night. It was a great road trip.
RESPECT.
Now, speaking of road trips, Pickers Paradise in Stapleton,
Yes.
Alabama.
Woo.
Now, this is you in the Pickers Paradise.
I'm everywhere, man, nationwide.
Fantastic.
What are you doing there?
I'm just helping Andy hold the fort down.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
It's
it.
good that a fort needs to be held down, right?
That's right.
Now, talk about going from radio to harmonica. When did you start playing the harmonica?
Oh, man, I was about 16 or 17, and I started playing. And I guess I've been playing ever since.
Did you play a lot when you were on the radio, or did that happen after?
Well, it's kind of almost like I wanted to be a full-time musician, but then when I realized I'd starved to death, I said, okay, I got to have something else. So when I was in radio, I always played. This is the KSJ family reunion.
Look at all those people.
Yeah, I was playing with Leon Rains that day. Do you remember Leon?
Oh, yeah.
He was on Atlantic Records, local. He was a local guy. Anyway, I was playing in
Where's
his
that
band.
at?
That is on the Eastern Shore in Baldwin County at Larkin Harris's place. It is beautiful. It's a natural amphitheater.
My goodness.
And they put that thing up, put the stage up. We had people like John Snyder and Gary Morris, T.G. Shepherd. God, the list goes on with those KSJ family
There's a
reunions.
ton of people.
Yeah, it is. It was like, whoa. But anyway, it was fun. I kind of grew up on, well, not really I ever grew up, but, radio was like having money, like you were in high school, but with money. I lived
That's a good way of putting it.
I lived my life like a beer commercial for 25 years.
In radio for 25 years, then you got out. You were on 96.1 The Rocket as you left radio.
Right, Jim, we were, how the Clear Channel thing went down. Anybody that had any gray hair, they had a big target on their back. So finally, after 2 years of firing people, they finally got me. But before that, though, Jim Mahaney and I put the Rocket on the air. I think Tim Camp was involved with that as well, engineer. And we did that for 3 years, and we were very successful. Now, the Rocket then does not sound anything like the Rocket now.
Now, what was the concept for the Rocket? You were the PD of the Rocket, right?
PD and music director.
So what was the concept of the Rocket? How did it get its name?
I think it was from Jim Mahaney's wife at the time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She said the Rocket. She was a spacey chick. And so it worked out. It worked out.
Well, I'd always heard that there was a station on in Pensacola that was doing well called The Arrow.
Yeah.
And I heard that it was an answer to The Arrow by calling it The Rocket.
Nah.
Is that
not
wrong?
real. No. Jim's ex-wife, Debbie. How are you, Debbie? She just came up with it. And so we just went with it. And it was good because our concept for that was like, we're going to play classic rock, but we were not going to be the traditional classic rock station. We were going to play local artists. You're on a traditional classic rock station, especially that's corporate owned by the Clear Channel, they have probably 190, 210 songs they just beat you to death with over and over and over. The Rockets playlist was probably 2,000 songs. And you're not going to hear the same song every day at the same time. And we played a lot of things with flavor. We played the Subdudes, we played the Neville Brothers, we played a lot of Wet Willie, but we were playing album cuts. If somebody buys an Eagles album that sold 5 million records, they don't want to hear Hotel California every time. There's other good songs on there. Did you have that problem when you were working at ABB? Who was doing the music over there?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't.
I got my job on ABB criticizing their music. About
Really?
Well, yeah.
How did that happen? I don't know your history.
Well, I'm not here to talk about my history.
Yeah,
but,
man, that's interesting. We're going to interview you now.
but no, I got hired on WABB because I was calling to complain about their music and how bad it was. And they let me complain about their music every day on the air. So
Is that right?
Yes. I was complaining about the product. It was horrible.
You got some nerve, buddy. I love you, man. I love
Well,
that.
you know what? They thought it was, this old man doesn't know what he's talking about. And then now all these years later, I'm the one left.
Yeah.
Johnny Gwynn?
That tells all you crackpots out there, you can get a job in radio by calling in radio stations and complaining all day.
Well, that's exactly how I got the job on WABB.
Wow.
And I keep asking iHeart Media to let me do the same thing on they won't let me.
Well, see, hey, well, look, I'm just going to give you a little piece of advice here, okay, Uncle Henry?
Please.
Okay. I tried that, and my butt was on the street like that, okay?
Well, I remember your exit from Clear Channel.
Yeah, it wasn't very graceful. I mean, it hit me like a sniper. You know, I had great ratings.
Yep.
And, I think I'm a decent human being. And I had fun when I was on the air, and we try to transcend that. No matter if I was on The Rocket or KSJ or WABB or any of the stations I worked, I always had fun. But, sometimes some people just don't get it. But with Clear Channel, it's all about the salary.
It was. It really was.
Yeah. I think during that 2-year period, there was probably 200 people that got fired. You saw it.
Well, last year there were thousands of people in the company that were let go, and I shouldn't be talking about it here because I still work there. All right, now here we go with more. Tell me about these people you're playing with.
Well, I'm just playing by myself here. Now, that was Jess Yancey right here.
Yep.
Jess Yancey and the High Hopes. I played harmonica on 2 of his albums.
That's MacDonald.
That's my friend
We'll
Andy
see
MacDonald. I played
bands?
with. That's Barstow Revival. That's Jay Megason, who I got a gig with, and of course the Lizards. This is Hank Beggar and the Boogie Children.
Yeah.
We opened. This is in Pensacola at Springfest. We opened for Los Lobos. Now go back. Can you go back to that? That's me over there. Hank Becker,
Look at the hair.
Rat McDonald, Beverly Joe Scott, Daryl McIntyre, Donna Hall, and Corky Hughes. That's a pretty good band.
Beverly Joe Scott is like on The Voice in Belgium right now. She
Yes.
is huge. I'm not kidding you. From Mobile,
Yes.
singer-songwriter, she's amazing.
Yeah,
Have you
she's
thought
from.
of going to Belgium?
No, I'd love to, but I'd played some with Beverly Joe, and Beverly Joe is on The Voice. She had some great albums.
She's awesome. She's
She
amazing.
is terrific.
All right, now we are going to open the phone lines up. If we have viewers, we would enjoy your phone calls for JEF FUnk. So there is the phone number. The phone lines are now opening up. Allegedly, the phone lines are opening up. Coming up later, Andy MacDonald will join.
Yeah.
And we'll hear some music with JEF FUnk and Andy MacDonald. Approved, of course, by Scotty White.
Who is that guy?
He is someone who gives approval.
Yes, please.
Okay.
And the musical guest presented by Callahan's Cold Beer, Hot Meat, Tasty Tunes.
Yes.
Now, before we go any further, because of the harmonica and blowing the harmonica, we got to thinking about favorite things that are blown. What are some of the favorite things in the universe that are blown? This list put together, we've got balloons. We like that.
Right.
Noses.
Breathalyzers.
Mines.
Oh,
Dandelions.
I'm sorry. I didn't steal your thunder.
Dandelions. Bubbles. Candles. Glass. Breathalyzers. Kisses.
Nice.
To age-appropriate immediate family members only. Neighbor's teenage son car speakers. Diets. Crimson Tide opponents halftime.
Roll, Tide, roll.
Roll Tide.
Recently sanitized hairpieces.
There you go.
Sock Cop's Rusty Kazoo.
Yes, please.
Doing.
And harmonicas,
Yes.
blown briefly.
Briefly. Okay.
Yes. Now, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I broadcast up there in December, I want to say it was 1998. And December the 15th, you guys made me go jump through some hoops and go down memory lane, so thank you. I appreciate it because, for a while, I don't care wherever you work, sometimes you just put that stuff in a drawer and forget about it. I had to go back and really look at stuff and get some ideas because, we're partying a lot back there.
Well, look, can you explain what's up with them? Because they keep putting people in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that it doesn't look like anything. It doesn't look like anything they've ever done is rock and roll.
Whitney Houston, come on.
Oh, no.
Janet Jackson.
Come
on. We've seen a little bit of Janet Jackson, probably too much. Whitney Houston, she belongs in the
Pop Hall of Fame.
She belongs in singing the National Anthem Hall of Fame. She's fantastic.
What are they doing up there?
I don't know. I mean, that was 1999, and I'm still miffed because the Jay Giles Band has not made it.
Hey! Wow, that's
the Jay Giles Band should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Magic Dick, by the way, plays
If
in
you've
that
never
band.
seen the Jay Giles Band live, and I've seen them a dozen times, my God, it'll make you sweat.
Look at this.
Isn't that guy 100 years old now, the lead
Well,
singer?
yeah, we're all old, Henry. Come on, man. No, Peter Wolf, you're talking about. Yeah.
All right, so since we're on the topic quickly of rock and roll, it's Global Beatles Day.
I heard that.
So, your favorite Beatle?
My favorite Beatle, wow. That's good. I don't know. I can't answer.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Jeff Funk, you're a musician and you can't give a snap judgment on your favorite Beatle? Tommy Tuberville told me his favorite Beatle.
Oh, yeah? Well, look what happened to him.
He was elected to Congress.
Exactly.
Well,
He was
there you
elected to Congress.
I gotta
Exactly.
say, John Lennon.
Okay, there you
Of
go.
course you do.
He played harmonica.
Of course
Well,
you do.
I interviewed Delbert McClinton one time, and there's that old story about, Delbert, did you teach John Lennon how to play harmonica?
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he goes, man, I showed him a few things. And, is there any kids watching?
Oh, now no cuss
Yes.
words.
Okay.
Please, please, Jeff Funk,
We're
no.
PG-17. You can
Okay.
say you
No,
are.
we're not.
We are.
No, we're not.
We are.
Not with me on
We
it.
are.
Not with me.
We are
Well,
PG-17.
No,
I
we're
don't
not.
know. It's a nice word. It's not
Do it.
vulgar.
Do it.
Delbert McClinton told me, he goes, like playing harmonica is like masturbation.
Hey, yeah.
Soon as
Why are
he
you
said,
doing this?
He told me.
Why did you do this?
Look it up in the dictionary, Henry. if
I
you
don't want to
know.
look. I know what that is.
How do you know?
Because it's in the dictionary.
Okay. He said, sooner or later you'll get the hang of it.
We don't need that kind of talk for this show. We don't want to be a success built on that foundation. That's a house of sand.
Quote of the show. Quote of the show.
Well, you know what? Look, I used to go to Nashville.
Next topic.
2 years. That's me in the Washington Monument. It's not a horn hanging out of my head.
Very phallic, by the way. Very phallic.
Okay. But I used to go a couple of times a year and do a artist intensive show, artist interview intensive show. I would do 50 or 60 interviews a week, and it was crazy. But one of my favorite interviews, can I share that with you?
Of course.
And it's clean.
Good.
Yes.
Okay. I know this is a family show. So we're in the Union Station Hotel. It's the last day of the program, and it's Songwriters Day. And so I'm interviewing all these songwriters, and we're in a ballroom, and there's radio stations just all around in a big square U around the wall. And the artists would come in, and they would just go from station to station to station. And, and we had these big bio books about all these people, right? Well, one of my favorite writers of all time happened to be on that show. He wasn't a songwriter, but his name was Louis Grizzard.
Okay.
The famous
Louis
Atlanta
Grizzard.
constitutional
Yeah.
guy. So when he came in, he has got a blue blazer on. He's got slacks on, penny loafers, no socks. And so when he came to my table, I grabbed the waiter and I said, we want 2 double screwdrivers right here, right now, and keep them coming till I say stop. So Lewis sat down and he looked at me and he goes, I think I like you, Jeff. So he began the whole storytelling thing about, he's supposed to stay for 10 minutes. He stayed for almost an hour. They kept trying to drag him away and stuff. So I said, okay. And I was setting him up. He's written some famous books.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot Low Boys, The Riding Shetland Ponies, Don't Bend Over in the Garden, Granny, Those Taters Have Eyes, and on and on and on. But I said, okay, Lewis, you've been around here doing this, interviewing everybody. I said, who asked you the strangest thing so far? And he said, well, I was over there with that guy from Oklahoma, and evidently my picture got next to Archie Jordan's biography. And so the guy from Oklahoma, I sit down there and the guy goes, I want to shake the hand of the man who wrote all those songs for Ronnie Millsap. And he goes on to say, then he asked me, well, what's the hardest thing about writing songs for Ronnie Millsap? And Lewis says, it's putting all that crap in Braille. Oh. So Louis Grizzard was fantastic. And somewhere I have reams of tape that I'm trying to archive now.
Oh, wow. Okay. That'd be great to hear.
Maybe.
Eric Erdman told me this joke.
Oh.
He said, who was the brave manager that brought There's a Stranger in My House to Ronnie Millsap's? He's blind.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
It was a huge hit.
Yes. Yeah. It was Michael.
You actually know who it is?
Yeah. I met him. I've interviewed him. He was a former professional football player. Played for the Cincinnati Bengals. And Michael, he was a big dude. He was great, had a good career, and I can't remember his last name.
Made a lot of money.
All right, we are about to go to the phones and see if anybody wants to ask you a question.
Oh, my God.
There's the phone number, and this is brought to you by Container Yard. That's where we're doing the show. Downtown office space and co-working, $3.99 a day. Free co-working every Friday, so you can try it out. Take the Container Yard for a test ride on a Friday. ContainerYardWorks.com, where creativity and commerce meets. ContainerYardWorks.com. Before we go to the phones, do we have any calls? All right.
Thank God.
I'm just curious, before we go to the phones, you worked in radio for 25 years.
Right.
Can you name a couple of radio people that you admired, that you liked on the local level?
On the local level?
Yeah.
Can I tell you some of my influences and then I'll get to the local level?
Yeah.
Okay. Believe it or not, Arthur Godfrey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arthur Godfrey was a big influence because Arthur Godfrey, he would talk. He would talk. No matter how big the audience, he seemed like he was talking to one person all the time. And I said, I'm going to try to emulate that. Alan Funt. Okay. Bob Eubanks. Okay. But then there was a great disc jockey out of New Orleans and WTIX. His name was Bob Walker. He was fantastic. And so I tried to emulate his style. But locally, I got to say, Wayne Gardner. Wayne Gardner was fantastic. I mean, he was the mayor. He owned it. I really like Gary Mitchell. I'm trying to think. You're putting me on the spot for local because a lot of times, my job was to go in the studio between 3 and 7 in the afternoon, or if I was filling in the morning show, my job was to kick everybody else's butt.
Right.
So I didn't really listen to too many people. I was kind of focused on what I was doing.
Okay.
Leslie Fram.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. Wherever she is, she's going to do good wherever she goes.
She's in Nashville.
CMT.
Yeah.
CMT,
Oh, is she? She was in New York, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was in Atlanta.
Let's see. I'm going to miss somebody, and they're going to give me some bad.
Well, no, there's too many to name them all, but.
Yeah, Super Dave Terry. He's good. God, Dan Brennan was really good. I'm trying to think who I work with at ABB. David Page, Gary Mitchell, Joe Madison. He was interesting. Wild Bill Hooper was my favorite, really. Bill was like talking to a mad scientist. You know Bill, didn't
I
you?
worked with him for many, many years. He was at Clear Channel iHeart for many, many years in an engineering role.
Yes.
Bill, there's no way for us to adequately explain his talent on this show other than he could do the weather and he would entertain you with the weather.
Right.
That's how good he was.
Yeah, and he would start talking. Tell me if you had the same experience. He would start talking to you, and I almost be Shakespearean-like, and lifting his eyebrow. And, it's like, okay, this guy, when I first met him, I didn't know where he was coming from. But then he and I were friends. And then one day, when I was at ABB one night, I remember he was supposed to relieve me at midnight. And I got a call about 10 minutes before he was supposed to arrive on the Bernie light. You remember the Bernie light?
Yes.
That big French fry light right in your face every time Bernie Dittman, God rest his soul, would call you about something. Bill called and goes, he said, "Hey, Funk." And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Man, I'm not going to make it tonight." And I said, "Dude, come on. I just worked a long shift. I need you to replace me." He goes, "I'm in Memphis at a Jerry Lee Lewis show." And, if you knew Bill, you knew that was the deal.
Yes.
That was the deal. Can I tell you another WABB story?
Hold on for a second.
Oh.
We know we got Andy over there.
Oh.
We have lied to him for months
Yes.
about
Good.
getting him on.
Yes.
So can we get to the story
sure,
quickly?
Sure.
Yes.
I don't know. But I remember.
I hate to cut. These are wonderful stories. I hate to be that person, but we have lied
can
to
we
Andy
save the
for
story?
years.
We'll come in with your story after the musical performance.
Yes. Yes.
All right, do we have any phone calls?
Oh,
Let's go to the phones. Remember your story.
okay. That's a bunch.
Hello, caller.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi. Hi, tonight's show is awesome. Mr. Jeff, you're awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Who is this?
Hi. Hi. I heard that one of your nicknames was Thunder Lips.
Well, it is, and I came by it through probably a late night playing with Andy MacDonald. He gave me that name.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Hi, that's awesome. That's just like we gave the nickname Thunderbutt to Uncle Henry's fat mother.
You leave my mother out of this. You freak, scumbag. Did you ever have to physically attack a listener?
Almost.
Okay. All right. Do we have any other callers?
Uncle Henry Thunderbutt. Oh, man.
Please. Hello. Do we have another call? Hello.
Hey, Mr. Jeff Funk, how you doing? Hey, Mr. Jeff Funk, how you doing?
It's the same guy.
No, it's the Snake Trapper.
Oh, okay. How you doing?
Yeah, Snake Trapper here, man. Listen, I got one question for you, man.
Okay. Shoot.
When you appeared on the set, I was watching on Facebook, and man, I swear you're a spitting image of me. And I'm just wondering if anybody's ever asked you, is you the Snake Trapper?
No, but somebody asked me one time for money. They thought it was probably you, but you're a good-looking dude then. Way to go.
Well, now, I've seen yes, sir, I've seen younger pictures of you. Now, you're a whole lot better looking than I am, but my goodness, you look so much like me, man. I mean, well, I better go. But anyway, brother.
Spit it out, brother. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Do we have any other calls?
I hope he wasn't naked.
Me too. Hello, caller.
Hey, Henry, how are you doing tonight? Mr. Funk?
I'm doing great. Who's this?
Jimmy the Economist.
No, this is Steve. How's
hey,
everyone
Steve.
doing tonight? I'm still currently recovering from the China virus, and really hasn't been that bad, I'm glad to say.
Well, good. Do you have any
But,
kind of a question for Jeff Funk or a comment?
Yeah, I just, as a fellow harmonica enthusiast and everything, I've enjoyed playing with a few bands and, fronting some bands and bringing the harmonica in as a little bit of tasty spice on the rock shows. And I played with a rockabilly band, and man, it's it was fun. To me, it was funner than actually fronting the band or you know. And one thing about playing the harmonica is you don't have to carry a whole bunch of heavy gear with you. You got, you know, a bag with your harmonicas in it. You got one little amplifier and a microphone, and you're good to go. Sometimes you just step up to a vocal mic and play, you know, on impromptu stuff, and it sounds fine. But yeah, I've always enjoyed playing myself, and as I've gotten older and kind of semi-retirement, I wouldn't mind getting another harp gig because they're easy.
Okay. Is there a question?
No, I just, you know, I'm just a fellow enthusiast and want to wish you well in your future harmonica endeavors. And,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye. Okay, let's go back to the phones. Hello, caller. Hello.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey, Jeff, this is Walter.
Hey, man, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Walter.
I'm watching this and just digging it to death. Henry, this is great. It's great to unpack the history of what Jeff's got to do and just enjoying it thoroughly. So thanks a lot.
Well,
I've got a question for you.
This is Walter Cooley, who plays incredible bass, and he plays down at the Three Circle Church down in Baldwin County. And they do some incredible music down there, and Walter is a really good bass player.
What's the question, Walter?
Well, you're kind. Well,
Yes, I am.
The question, Jeff, is you got to hang with a whole lot of really talented folks in the course of your career and got to go to some incredible shows. Is there a show that stands out as the show where you went, oh my gosh, I didn't expect this to happen?
Matter of fact, it is, Walter. And it's not going to be what anybody thinks. It was a Cat Stevens show here in Mobile.
What?
Oh, wow.
Cat Stevens?
Wait.
It's not even a name anymore.
Let me just tell you, it was in Mobile.
What? You were surprised because it was good?
I was surprised because I was mesmerized.
It's pretty amazing.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, so it's in the Civic Center, okay, back when they had concerts.
Yeah.
And the curtains across the stage, and this fantastic jazz music starts. It's just fantastic, big band sound. And all of a sudden, these guys in gold lame, is it lame? I can't ever remember. Anyway, they come out, and they put like 3 cubes all across the stage, 3 different cubes. And the music's going, and I'm thinking, what's going on? And all of a sudden, they put the cubes together in the center of the stage, and the music comes to this great crescendo. And when it stops, the cube opens, and Cat Stevens jumps out and goes,
Man.
and it was magic. And everybody went,
Wow.
and then it went crazy. And he goes over and pushes the button, a microphone stand comes up out of it, and then a guitar, and he starts singing. And next thing you know, they wheel a piano out. And it was about the time during the Van Apple Gas tour. So I'm thinking, okay, we got a guitar, and we have a piano over here. And he played them all beautifully, and he sang. And then all of a sudden, he started playing a song on the piano, and the curtains opened, and the full band kicked in. The curtains opened. He went from one corner of the stage all the way to the other, and it was full of musicians, a big rainbow, big TV, and they played the video, Van Apple Gas, and it was fantastic. It was great. It caught my attention.
Wow.
Wow. Great story.
All right. Well, thank you for the question. Thank you for watching the show.
Yes, thank you, Walter.
Thanks,
You're
Walter.
very welcome. Y'all take care. Bye.
Thanks, buddy.
Goodbye. Do we have any other calls?
Polite guy.
All right, let's go back to the phones. Hello, caller.
You're
Hey,
up.
Jeff.
Hey, man.
Hey, I've enjoyed your harp playing for years. I have a 2-part question for you.
Okay. Is this that
it,
snapper guy again?
2 parts.
2 parts.
No,
Okay.
no. Is it, ever like disappointing or a letdown that harmonic players don't have roadies?
Well, well, you know what? Sometimes I have enough gear that I need a roadie. You're right. You're right. That's why I occasionally have a girlfriend to carry that stuff around for me.
Is that your gear?
That's a harp case.
Show your box.
Second part
Show
of
my
my question
box.
was: Is it ever disappointing or a big letdown that harmonica players never have groupies?
Well, I haven't had that problem.
Okay. Well, you answered my question.
All right.
Now, who put you up to that?
All right, hang up on the guy. All right, do we have any other calls? We're running late, and Andy MacDonald's going to get furious.
Poor Andy.
No, he's not. He's got
Let's go back to the phone.
Henry here.
Poor
He's got his
Andy.
baby here and his wife.
Hello, caller.
Always Andy.
Hey, what's going on there? It's your old pal Sock Hop. How's it going?
Sock Cop.
Suck up!
Sock cop.
Sock Cop.
Oh, yes, indeed he is. Oh, that's good. I just had a question real quick because he's a very good harmonica player. And I'm trying to figure out, I've got a harmonica. I've got several harmonicas. And I can't figure out how to play them. You either blow into them or you suck into them. And how do you do? Do you offer lessons or something? Because I'm over here. I got this thing, and all I can do is just sort of like, and that's it. Is there more you can do?
Yeah, that's a good start. That's how I started. And I lost all my friends. You have to go in the woods. You have to play a lot and just, have fun with it. Because
let me write this down. Go in the woods.
Have fun, yeah. There you go. You got to play a lot.
Do you offer any lessons or anything? Because I would, I'd pay.
You would? Okay, we'll get your number later, okay? Speaking of that, I used to do a lot of voiceovers and stuff.
Yeah.
So I still do. So if anybody, ad agencies out there, call me. Any band out there wants some harmonica, do an album, call me.
Very nice.
And you need your yard mowed.
All right. Sock Cop, anything else?
Just have fun with it, man.
I just wanted to figure out I don't know how to play this thing. I just mess around with it, so I'll just listen to more of you and try to get the free lessons that way.
All right.
All right, very good. Thank you, Sock Cop.
All right, Smooches for you. Have a good day.
Very good. Thank you, Sock Cop. Do we have any other calls? Let's go back to the phones. Hello, caller.
Another one.
Hello.
I joined the show while it was in progress. And what was that y'all were talking about? Somebody masturbating?
Would you see? Did you see?
Well, you know what?
He said go off in the woods by yourself.
Look, thanks a lot.
You are the master of double entendre and
what do you
stuff
mean,
like,
the man? I don't do a double entendre.
You got to have fun.
Master of double entendre. I'm not into French words. All right, do we have any other calls? We're done. All right, we're done with the phone calls. Hey, we're done with the phone calls. So are you prepared now to transition from our guest to our musical guest?
Absolutely. I love playing with Andy MacDonald.
All right, well, JEF FUnk is our musical guest along with Andy MacDonald. Please welcome Andy MacDonald.
What's up, homie?
Thank you, Andy MacDonald, for coming back again. And we got to you as quickly as we could tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Andy MacDonald, and we're going to have the microphones placed for Andy MacDonald. Now, you, the home viewer, or wherever you're viewing, you've got a big case. There's a lot of harmonicas in there. Are they all the same?
No, they're different.
You need that many different harmonicas?
I do. I have harmonicas in every key, and then I have spares. I have minor key harps, and I have specialty harps. I play with a lot of different people.
Okay.
And I play with some people that are, rock oriented, so do that. And then I play with people that need some pretty stuff, so I have some things of that nature.
All right, the musical guests presented by Callahan's, Cold Beer, Hot Meats, Tasty Tunes. And by Picker's Paradise.
Yeah.
Stapleton, Alabama.
What you doing?
At Callahan's, the Royal Horses,
I don't
Saturday,
care.
June 27th. And Andrew Duhon on Sunday. Scotty White approves.
Yes, please.
Wild horses, the horses. Yeah, since it's straight G.
All right, so what is the first thing you're going to play for us as we get everything mic'd up properly?
I think we're going to start off with...
Wait, here we go.
Oh yeah, you need that.
Hola, Dan.
Honey, hit him in the mouth.
Dan, the sound man.
Dan, the sound man. We very, very much appreciate a good sound man.
Yes, indeed. All right, what you going to play for us?
We're going to do I think we're going to start off with one of my songs, which we would love some audience participation. So if you can catch on to the chorus, then we want you guys to sing along. Okay? You got it? Got it. All right.
You didn't print any words?
No, I didn't print any words or anything.
Okay.
All right, well, then, everyone, Andy MacDonald, your JEF FUnk.
No, you can't put out a flame with just one tear. You can't put out a flame with just one tear. Honey, you may flood a fountain, but let's get one thing clear. You can't put out a flame with just one tear. Your empty words won't heal a wounded man. Your empty words won't heal a wounded man. You could speak some other language only you can understand, but your empty words won't heal a wounded man. No, you can't put out a flame with just one tear. No, you can't put out a flame with just one tear. Honey, you may flood a fountain, but let's get one thing clear. You can't put out a flame with just one tear. They tell you water drowns, whiskey burns. They tell you water drowns and whiskey burns. While you're standing in a graveyard, digging holes and waiting turns. They tell you water drowns and whiskey burns. No, you can't put out a flame with just one tear. You can't put out a flame with just one tear. Honey, you may flood a fountain, but let's get one thing clear. You can't put out a flame with just one tear. sing it with us. No, you can't put out a flame with just one tear. No, you can't put out a flame with just one tear. Honey, you may flood a fountain, but let's get one thing clear. You can't put out a flame with just one tear. Honey, you may flood a fountain, but let's get one thing clear. You can't put out a flame with just one tear.
Andy MacDonald.
This is JEF FUnk.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. So, before you play again for us, where are you guys going to be seen locally?
What do you got going
Pickers
on?
Paradise.
I think. I'm playing with Jay Megason and John Cook next Saturday at that fort in Daphne.
Okay.
And then
Spanish Fort?
Spanish Fort. And then I'm playing at Page and Palette in later in July and then in August, I think.
Okay.
And
Andy
then-
MacDonald. Yes, Johnny?
And then in where else we play?
We are actually doing a kind of a special thing to me is in mid-July we are playing at Pirates Cove
Nice.
Right.
as an all-electric band.
What?
Yeah, we are very excited about that.
That's
Do it
cool.
about once a
You're
year.
playing electric. You're playing electric guitar.
All electric. Yeah.
I've never seen that.
It's really fun.
I have a question.
Please.
Y'all work together at Pickers Paradise.
We do.
Right? Do y'all just sit all day and just play songs all day?
I would love to do that, but if we had the ability to do that, then my business would crumble.
But I would come and just like hang out and have coffee with you guys.
You can still do that.
Yeah, okay. All right.
But we have to work at least I have to work every now and again.
All right, so another song. What will you favor us with?
First, can I tell you that my wife's favorite Beatle is George?
Okay.
But mine is, it used to be George, but it turned into Paul. And Paul is still my favorite Beatle now. As when I was younger, it was Paul, then George, back to Paul again. I think Paul, the bass lines are so cool. I think he's a great songwriter. Paul's got it going on, you know. Still alive too, that helps.
Nobody ever says Ringo.
I was going to say Ringo because recently I heard some tracks with just Ringo, all those Beatle hits, and it was just Ringo drumming, and I really listened to them. And you know, the best way to listen to music anyway is with headphones on. And the drums that Ringo laid down were perfect for the Beatles.
If anybody besides Ringo played drums for the Beatles, it would not have worked.
All right, we've talked too much about the Beatles.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so
Stones.
what is the next song you're going to perform for us?
We're going to do a little bluesier song called Hometown Blues.
Hometown Blues. Okay, once again, Andy MacDonald and JEF FUnk.
Thank you so much for having us. I wish I'd never come back home. It don't feel right since I've been gone. I can't find any of my old friends hanging around. Won't nothing bring me down like your hometown. I spent some time in New Orleans. I had to live on rice and beans. I hitched through Texas when that sun was beating down. I won't nothing bring me down like your hometown. Home is where the heart is, ain't that what they always say? My heart lies and broken pieces scattered along the way. So don't think about me when I'm gone. I don't mind traveling alone. You are the sweetest little thing that I ever found. Won't nothing bring me down like your hometown. Come on, little fella, pick it. Is where the heart is, ain't that what they all? Don't encourage him. My heart lies in broken pieces scattered along the way. So don't think about me when I'm gone. I don't mind traveling alone. You are the sweetest little thing I ever found. Won't nothing bring me down like your hometown. Oh, sugar, won't nothing bring me down like your hometown. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Andy MacDonald and JEF FUnk and Andy, over and over again, you've endured this show. So thank you for that. Yes, Johnny.
Parting gifts.
Parting gifts. So,
Hold on, underneath the I never saw a Beatle, but local artist, local rock book. So right here, the book.
The book.
So underneath it goes to JEF FUnk.
Oh, man.
Paddle ball?
He gets paddle balls.
Thank God.
and knives.
Killed somebody. And knives?
Yes.
Take knives.
That is awesome.
That is pretty cool.
And choose from the
Oh, man.
Candy cigarettes.
cigarettes.
You gotta go with Stallion.
I got to go with Stallion.
Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you, Uncle Henry.
You're very welcome.
I'm gonna go with Kings.
Very nice. Henry, Andy gets, he's a big Star Wars fan, we know that.
That's right.
He gets the Star Wars, see that? My goodness, the JR beer. Okay.
J.R. Ewing, holy
No,
crap.
you don't get that, you don't get that.
All right, look.
So show it to the camera. You get a Star Wars jumbo.
Good, great. Okay, great, awesome. Thank you.
Can I give him this too?
No, that's ours. That's ours.
I don't want it anymore.
That's our gift.
I don't want Star Wars on the set. Can't we give him all the Star Wars?
And Andy writes for the Lanyap
do.
for food.
Man.
He gets smoked oysters.
I love smoked oysters. Thank you. You know, I should
Parting
say,
gifts.
Star Wars related, my oldest son is named Luke Skywalker MacDonald.
Woo! Yeah!
And my middle son is Graham, after Graham Parsons. And my youngest son,
Coolest
who is
dad
out
ever.
there tonight,
Yes.
right there, with my lovely wife Katie, his name is Henry, named after you.
This is like a tabloid thing. You named your son after Uncle Henry?
I didn't name him
I
Uncle
want
Henry. I
to.
just said Henry.
Do you really have a kid with the middle name Skywalker?
No.
Thank the Lord.
But his first name is Lucas.
Okay, all right. I was worried. I was thinking all the things I wanted to say, but I couldn't. All right. Anything else that you?
Yes. Excuse me. Al McNabb sends his regards. And
We would have loved to have had Al McNabb. He's a wonderful guitar player.
Al just double booked.
Okay.
And he sends his apologies, but he'll be back. He'd love, if you have the invitation,
Okay.
he would love to come back.
Before I ask you another question, yes, Johnny.
I'm sorry?
The guy that wrote Stranger in the House was Mike Reed.
That's him.
Mike Reed.
Cincinnati Bengal, offensive
All right,
tackle.
so-
you promised him one story in the
I
show.
did. That's
Oh,
what I was
what
getting
was
to.
it?
Thank you, Johnny. You said that you had another story about WABB, Bernie Dittman, or something like that?
Yeah,
Or-
and anybody ever worked, everybody heard all these crazy stories about Bernie.
Right.
Bernie used to come, I worked overnights over there, and a lot of times Bernie would come up in the middle of the night in his pajamas.
In his pajamas?
Walk in the halls.
Okay.
And we would have interesting. He was creepy. He would just show up, and you know how things go when in radio when people go on vacation. Then the shifts get. Anyway, they get turned. Hey, Henry. Oh, thanks, man. So one day I was doing afternoon drive, filling in for Scooter McLeod, the great Scooter McLeod, and we had just gotten the new James Taylor live album in. And I was always notorious for breaking format anyway and playing cool music. So I looked down there and it's like Steamroller Blues. Oh, no. I love Steamroller Blues by James Taylor. And of course,
We should have done that tonight.
Oh, I know, but not James's version. But not that particular version. So it's afternoon drive, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. People going home and stuff. I put the needle on there. And the James Taylor live version of Steamroller Blues is so nasty. Oh, my God. He is saying MF, MF, MF.
Oh, okay, we get it.
Okay,
We
got
get
it? Okay.
We get it.
Chicken, MF. And all of a sudden, every Bernie light, we call them Bernie lights, that went off. And I was thinking, there's no way in God's creation. I'm answering the phone. And I thought, this is it. My career is over. And here we are. And it's over. But anyway.
It's still over,
It's
Jeff.
still over. Can I tell one more WABB
Oh,
story?
what? But there was no. So
That's it. He never. I mean, you know what? He didn't say a word to me because I didn't answer the phone. But about a month or so later, we were doing something at the fairground with a high striker. You know, Bernie was like, that was his thing. He just got off on that. And so we're doing it. It's me and Bernie at the fairgrounds. And all of a sudden he leans over to me and he goes, don't be playing that MF stuff on the radio. He was sneaky like that.
Okay, all right.
He was sneaky.
I like that.
Yeah, he was sneaky. And what about traffic reports?
What about?
You know the behind the scenes in traffic reports? Oh God, I have really tempered myself about telling this story, but it's true. Sensors. Oh, you want me to hurry? I'll talk faster. So WABV had a good deal about air traffic reports, right? Blah blah blah. And so they had a fly playing around, and anyway, I got involved with the traffic girl. Okay, so we were friends, and so anyway. Yeah, that's right. Well, here's the story, and this is a true story. So sometimes when it rained really hard, and it does a lot in Mobile, thank God, they couldn't fly. So many a times in 1978 to 81, you'd hear these traffic reports, and she was doing them from my bedroom.
Okay, all right.
Quality stuff.
And wherever she is, thank you, I love you. It was a great time in my life.
All right. We are out of time. Just in time. Thank you to JEF FUnk.
Thank you all.
Thank you to Andy MacDonald.
Thank you to you, Uncle Henry.
Thank you to everyone who watches. And remember, if you want to keep these shows coming, go to PayPal or Venmo and look for Deep Fried Live. Thank you. Let's end the show, please.
Yes, please.